Okay, welcome to our team chat, everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about mindset and about putting skin in the game. But before we get to that, I did want to throw in a couple little announcements, I guess. Number one is that this Saturday is my drive to Idaho. Yay! And I have opened it up, if you didn't know this already, for time slots for one-on-one mentorship with our downline, my entire downline, so whether you're my personally sponsored coach or not. And I have maybe 3 slots left to have one-on-one calls with you guys. And this is a twofold purpose. Number one is I'm keeping myself alive because I have this terrible habit of falling asleep when I drive, and it's pretty bad. It's chronic. So you're helping me stay alive, but then I'm also going to be helping you with the one-on-one chat. And so for everyone who signs up, I will be sending you an email tomorrow and have a little questionnaire in there. So as soon as you email it back to me, that way we have some focus for our call and we're not just chatting, which chatting's fun, but I want to get, some good things actually accomplished. So please, if you are interested, comment on the post that's in our team page, and I believe it's toward the top because I tagged somebody in it yesterday. And I will get back to you about when we can set up a time during my drive to chat. And it's getting kind of full, so now I'm starting to think I didn't schedule myself time to go pee or to eat, or it's gonna be interesting. But I'll just ask you guys to, be a little flexible, just a little. Okay, the second thing I wanted to say, and this is really, I kind of debated whether I wanted to say anything or not because I didn't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I think you guys know me better than that. But I wanted to congratulate our team on reaching Star Diamond status because it really, truly is a team effort. And that, I know it's my name, and that's wonderful, but where it really happens is within our team. And it could never have happened without a team effort. So I really hope that you all look at yourselves as a Star Diamond team, because that's what we really are. And it's really exciting. And I just want to thank you guys for pushing with me and for being, such an awesome team to work with. I love you guys so much. If it wasn't for you, I would not be quitting my job. And this is a dream that I've had for several years now. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for having such a great team. And special congrats to Sarah again for reaching Diamond 2. And I know we've got several, oh my God, I'm just on the edge of my seat because there's several more people that are so close right now. And I'm so proud to be a part of this team. So I just wanted to say that. Definitely, I hope you know that I'm so so sincere when I say that. I really look at that as a team effort, and I want you all to think of yourselves as a Star Diamond team, okay? So, moving along, this is my last week of work full-time as a court reporter, and it's a little surreal for me. I've been having the whole kaleidoscope of emotions. Today especially, it's my last Monday. And I was really thinking today, hold on one second. I'm gonna mute you guys because I'm getting a little feedback. Okay, so today was my last full-time day at work. And I've been having this, as you can imagine, kaleidoscope of emotions and thoughts running through my head. And all I can really say above, the biggest thing that keeps coming to me is I'm getting my coworkers who are saying, oh my God, I just wish, or I can't, I'm so excited for you that you get to get out of this place, basically. And then I'm hearing in the same breath, the comment of oh, I've only got, 16 years left to go, or I've only got 20 years left to go. And it really drove home to me the difference between people. And the ones who, and I'm again not tooting my horn, but just talking about like people in general, and you'll see the ones who seem to take on new things, take on challenges, take on, you know, go the extra mile so that they can get that extra reward, right? Because let's face it, those of us that work full time, like Kelsey, you were saying that you're going to school and you're working and you have a child and a husband to take care of. You know, it takes extra effort. It's not easy. It is so not easy to do that. You know what I mean? To juggle everything and to make it work. But there is such a separation between you, those who push through and do that, go the extra mile, and those who sit back in their chair and complain and gripe and moan about what they have to do for the next 20 years, but who are so unwilling to do what it takes for just a short amount of time. It's taken me 3 years to get to a point where they can then be free of that. You know what I'm saying? It's really mind-boggling to me. And to me, it's so clear. It's so clear. But I know it's not to them. Like they don't see that. And I think a lot of it is the safety zone, you know, because it's easy for me to sit in my cushy office desk at my 8 to 5 and complain about my job when I know that next Friday I'm going to get paid for sitting there, right? There's security in that. Sometimes it's false security because we hear a lot of people getting pink slips and all that kind of stuff. So it's not necessarily even a true security, but it feels secure. And it feels secure to be in that safe zone. And so I can sit there and complain about it, but know that, you know, well, I'm safe, I guess is my point. So I just wanted to like basically take my hat off to you guys and cheer with my empty Shakeology cup and just say, like, I am so proud to be a part of a team that does not sit in the safety zone. You guys, we color outside the lines. That's what we do. We color outside the lines, and you know what happens when you do that? You make your own gorgeous, beautiful creation. It's your destiny that you are creating, and it's not dictated to you by someone else. And I just think that that is so, it's spectacular beyond words. And I'm just so, gosh, I'm like so proud of everyone on this team. I really am. So I wanted to talk today about putting some skin in the game. And as soon as I said the topic of the call, I immediately thought, like, well, what does that even mean? Because you hear it all the time, like, you know, you got to put some skin in the game. And I kind of like, I fundamentally know what it means in my heart, but getting it out of my mouth in an intelligent way was a little difficult. So I actually looked it up. I have a really great relationship with my friend, Mr. Google. And so I Googled skin in the game. And I found that this term was originally coined by Warren Buffett, who everybody knows that name, right? He is, I believe, the richest man in the world, still to this day. And he was an investor. And he coined this phrase in regarding Wall Street. And it was at a time in Wall Street where, you know, you had your Wall Street brokers who basically, they were a third party. They would take your money and they would invest it in some other company. And when he was talking about putting your skin in the game, he was talking to these investors, these brokers, and saying basically, put your skin in the game, put your money into that company. Do you believe in that company enough that you would risk your own money and you would invest your own money in the success of that company? Because what happens when we put our money in the game, when we put our skin in the game, it suddenly means a lot more to us, right? It has a lot more meaning to us because it has the potential to cause us pain. Now, if I lose someone else's money, yeah, I'm going to feel bad, but what does it really do, right? It doesn't really affect me. Now, when it's my money, it's definitely painful. And so that's why he used skin in regards to money, because you lose some skin, it's going to hurt. You lose money, it's going to hurt. But he's basically telling these investors, if you believe in that company enough to put someone else's money in, you should put your own skin in that game. That way you're invested in the success of that company and seeing it go, seeing it grow. So some of the other terms that you'll hear are put your money where your mouth is, kind of the same thing, right? Or be a stakeholder. So what does it mean when we're talking about Beachbody coaching? So I want you to just think for a second, what is your skin that you've put in the game? What have you done, or what are you doing to put your money where your mouth is? Now, for some, it can be investing your time and really, really treating the business like it is the vehicle to get you to be a millionaire, or insert whatever your goal is, because it is, right? It can be sacrificing the time spent on the fun things that you want to do so that you can make your goals happen, which is what we talked about a little bit ago. Being a product of the product, putting your money where your mouth is. So it's easy to say like, oh, these products are great, but if we're not showing it and we're not living it and we're not putting our money where our mouth is and investing in it ourselves, it's hard to be authentic. And when, like we're all basic, I believe, basic honest people. And when I'm not doing it, trust me, this last month, I'm feeling it, because it's been very hard for me to stay on track, living in a trailer with my workouts and eating, and I have not done it the way I want to do it. And it's harder when I know I'm not living the lifestyle I want to be living and the lifestyle that I'm telling other people that they should be living. It's harder for me to talk about it. It's harder for me to make recommendations and to counsel people when I'm not doing it. We're hesitant to go public when we know we're not being authentic. Putting your money where your mouth is, or getting your skin in the game, can be making that purchase every month to keep yourself active before you're even seeing results. All right. And I know that's hard. I know it is, because, I know when I started, I didn't have a lot of money. That's the whole reason I became a coach, is because I wanted to save 25%. And that $33 was a big deal. It was a big deal to save that much money. We were very, very, very broke. So I understand. But I also understand that, even though it's tough, there is a mindset that happens, a mind shift that happens when I know that I am invested in my business. I'm going to treat it more seriously because I've got my skin in the game. I got my money out there. My money is where my mouth is, and I'm going to do more than if it's just, well, I went inactive, I'm just going to let it go this month, right? It can be stating your goals out loud and publicly. So letting people know where you're going with this, letting them see your vision. And this is where it really, like, talking about putting skin in the game. And I'm going to open the lines at the end, and we're going to talk about this. But for me, when it really happened for me was right there, was when I publicly stated, and I'll never forget, telling that first person that I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to be a full-time coach. I'll never forget that moment, making that announcement publicly, because, people that know me, they knew I made really good money as a court reporter. And trust me, I got a lot of disbelieving looks, like, yeah, right. But because I said it, and because I stated it and I put it out there, now I've got that push and the drive within me to prove that I can do it, right? Putting that public announcement out there was a lot of skin for me. And I think it is for a lot of people. But here's the cool thing that happens. Yes, you will get people who don't believe in you. It's going to happen, okay? It's just going to happen, so expect it. But you're also going to get those people who sit there and it resonates with them. And they go, wow, You know, I just put out there, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm not right now, but I'm going to be, because I'm a Beachbody coach and I'm going to work my business and I'm going to get it to the point where I can stay home and I don't need a nanny to watch my kid. I can take my kid to the bus stop in the morning. And you're going to have somebody out there amid all of the people who don't believe, who that resonates with them, and they're going to say, wow, I want that. Okay, it will happen, but we've got to put it out there. But it could be staying home, vacations, going on really cool vacations, being able to afford fun things like that, funding your kids' college fund, buying a new house, getting a dream house, becoming debt-free, paying off all of your debts, student loans. But you would be really surprised how just stating those things and just putting it out there, what you want to see happen in your vision, how that can catapult your business forward. Putting skin in the game can also be being vulnerable, being raw and transparent with people you deal with on social media and in person, and really sharing your story and who you are and where you've come from and those difficult things that we don't want to tell people. Those things that are so deep that mean so, you know, the meaning of it goes deep into our heart and it's hard to share. But not only do you help people when you do that, because they're going to identify with you and they're going to see in you the same struggle that maybe they're dealing with right at the moment, but it's going to draw them to you because they will identify with you. So sharing where you've come from, what's held you back, and how you've overcome the things in your life. Sharing your message, right? The mess that has now become your message. All of those things are hard to do, and it really does require putting your feelings out there, being vulnerable, being raw. And whenever we do that, we open ourselves up to being hurt. That's why we don't do it. That's why we shy away from it. That's why we hide things. That's why we keep those things that are really, you know, have a lot of meaning to us. We keep them inside because we don't want people judging them and we don't want people critiquing them. But when you do that, not only do you take away your power at inspiring people and motivating people and showing them what's possible through their own struggles, but you really limit your business too. So feeling confident that feeling that you can confidently put skin in the game begins, in my opinion, with belief. Belief in your potential first, your just straight potential as a human being, and belief in the potential of your business second. So just like the Wall Street investor, we're talking about Warren Buffett, they're not going to risk their own capital on a startup that they don't believe in, right? They don't believe it's going to succeed. They're not going to put their skin in the game. It's the same with us. We're not willing to put our skin in the game if we're not sure of the business either. And so I want you to just remember this little, I saw this on Tony Robbins, one of his videos, but it's talking about beliefs and how it spurs action. So when you see something that has potential, when you believe in your own potential, when you believe in the potential of Beachbody and coaching, you will act on it when you believe in the potential. And here's the cool thing. When you act on the potential, you see results happen, right? When you see results happen, it creates an even stronger belief within you. It's like you know, I reached out to 10 people this week, and I had one person respond back that, yeah, they're interested in joining the challenge pack. I can do this. I'm a rock star. I'm a good coach, right? And when you start believing in yourself and you start doing those actions, and it's promoting even further belief because you're seeing results, you do more actions, and this cycle starts. It's this positive upward cycle of actions that spur results, that spur belief, that go back to the actions. So Beachbody, I want to just go through a couple people that because sometimes I think that coaches, when we sign up, or even when you're talking, this can be helpful to people when you're talking to them about coaching. You're going to hear a lot of people say, and oh my God, if I had $1 for every time I heard this, seriously, from people I talk to that are not coaches and from coaches too, But, you know, oh, well, Mary, you're just Mary. You're just really good at this. This is just, you know, it just comes naturally to you. No, it didn't. Okay, let me just get that out there. It did not come naturally to me. I'm an introvert. I would rather be in a corner somewhere all by myself reading a book than being out there in the spotlight, okay? It did not come naturally to me. But I can tell you what did come naturally. It was when I did P90X and I lost 50 pounds and I lost my IBS and I was so flippin' excited, I could not keep it inside, okay? And I started talking about it. That's what got me into this predicament I'm in right now as a coach, right? Where now I'm in the spotlight all the time. But it took practice. It took constantly practicing and on sharing and being vulnerable and telling my story. I'm an introvert. Do you think it's easy for me to open up on Facebook and just bare my soul to people? Heck no. It is so freaking not easy. The only reason I do it is because I really truly hope that it's going to help someone. And I've had, you know, it started out small, sharing little things, you know, like you don't have to tell the world all of your, you know, everything that's happened in your life at day one. But when you start sharing little small things and then you start getting those messages like, oh my God, Mary, I didn't realize you'd gone through that. Like, thanks so much for sharing that because I'm going through that right now, right? You start getting those messages back that spur that belief in myself that, okay, like this is helping someone when I share and when I'm vulnerable and I'm open. And so you start sharing more and then you're getting more messages, all right? And then my miscarriage post that I posted a while back got 50 shares from people I don't even know. Why? Because it was real. It was raw. It was hard. It was hard, right? But it inspired people because it was real and raw and hard. So never be afraid to, I'm saying never be afraid knowing that you will be afraid. I'm afraid too, okay? But don't let your fear hold you back. Don't let your fear hold you back because there are people out there who need you. They need your special brand of unique experiences that you've been through because we are all so different because we've gone through different unique things, right? But there's people out there, they need you. They really do. They really, really do. And you'll get those messages and it'll make a difference to you. And that was totally not in my notes, so sorry about that. Okay, so I wanted to share this because, like I was saying, I do get a lot of people who are like, well, Mary, you're just perfect. This is like perfect for you. It's right up your alley. No, it wasn't. It took practice. It took dedication. It took getting out of my comfort zone. It still takes getting out of my comfort zone, all right? But the Beachbody team, the family that is Beachbody coaches across the nation, come from such a wide array of backgrounds. It's insane, you guys. So I wanted to go through a few of these people because I think this is important to understand as a coach and when you're talking to someone, because you're going to hear a lot of objections of, well, that's just, you know, I'm not the right type of person for that. And I can tell you that not only are we a mix of all of the personality types, okay, all of them, but we have people that started out homeless, living in a motel on government assistance, right? And I'm going to throw these names at you guys, okay? Tulin Emery, homeless, living in a motel when she started as a Beachbody coach. Needless to say, she's no longer living in a hotel. Then we've got people that were broke. Husband was working 2 jobs. She never saw him. They were living paycheck to paycheck. She was searching her couch cushions for money so she could go buy food, returning items from Walmart so that she could buy food. Brigida Linford. She's now a superstar diamond coach. We have lawyers, all right, who simply just wanted to help somebody else and ended up building a business so big that she finally quit her law practice just a couple years ago. That's Christina Delgado. Highly successful pharmaceutical rep who found a cure literally in Shakeology, Shay Stanford. High school dropout, bankrupt bartender who felt that she was meant for more. She just said, I always knew that I was meant to do something bigger and I was going to be a part of something bigger than myself. Lindsay Matway. These are all I don't know if they're all superstar, but they're all top coaches who have made amazing businesses, who come from just totally different backgrounds, right? Totally different backgrounds. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do it. Not everybody will. So if you're not quite at the level of belief that I'm talking about here, you know, the belief and the faith that moves mountains and that moves you to action so that you then see those results, then you need to first work on building your belief in yourself and in your business as a wealth creating machine. So how do you build belief in yourself? Number one, you want to speak life into yourself. Speak what you want into existence. So I want you to tell yourself daily, I'm a good coach. I'm a great coach. My team is on fire. I change people's lives. I attract fun and energetic people. Happy people are attracted to me. I make a difference in the world around me. I'm a 6-figure earner. I'm a full-time mom to my kids. I'm a hard worker. I believe in my potential. I have purpose that drives me every single day. So if you struggle with certain things, counter those with your positive self-talk, right? So even though you might feel kind of dumb doing it, and I did, very, because it's not right now, you know, when we're speaking things that we want to happen, it's not now. I'm not, you know, I'm not a millionaire now, but I'm going to be, right? But you want to speak it as though it means. So here's what I mean. And it can be anything from character flaws to skills that you want to learn. But if you struggle, just for a couple examples, if you struggle with being late, if you're late to everything and that's kind of your thing and everybody knows, like, oh, well, we invited her, she's, you know, we got to give her 15 minutes before she gets here. Add that to your list of positive affirmations and say, I'm punctual and I respect other people's time. Add it. Trust me. You start saying that to yourself every day, you're going to be on time. It just will happen. It will happen. If you struggle with being a negative Nelly, add that to your list. I look for the positive side in all things and I find it, right? If you feel in over your head or out of your depth, add, I am confident. I'm courageous. I am great at figuring my way through things. Right? So just take those things that you struggle with and turn it into an affirmation. If you can counter all the negative voices in your head with positive ones, Tara Carr did a national wake-up call a while back on this topic, and I always think of it because the way she described it was so funny. But she said anytime she'd hear a negative thought, she'd take out a sticky note and she'd counter that negative thought and she'd stick it somewhere in her house. And she said it didn't take very long and her house looked like a bowl of Fruit Loops threw up all over it because she had these like colored sticky notes all over her walls. But now, you know, somebody might look at that and go, well, that's kind of dumb, right? But now she's sitting as a superstar diamond coach because she didn't just sit back and accept that negative mindset as like, oh, well, it's just me. This is how I'm wired. No, she worked on changing it and she worked on creating a new inner voice. So whatever it is that you want to achieve, speak those things. They're not happened yet, but you speak them as though they've already happened. And it might sound crazy. And maybe, I'm sure somebody's listening to the call or maybe watching a recording and thinking, oh, that's a big load of bull. But I want to tell you something. Speaking positive things into your life and rejecting negative and not allowing it to take root and speaking your desires into existence has been proven. You can look to all sorts of modern day examples for this. There's Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Danny Johnson. There are so many people who give this instruction in their teachings because there's power in positive thinking and there's power in embodying your dreams and your desires and acting on them before they're even here. And so for those of you who like might not be swayed by modern examples, I have Bible for this. The Bible is full of examples of God speaking things into existence. Things that hadn't happened, but he spoke them as though they had already happened. Hello, creation, right? But Abraham is one of those. He was known for his faith and his belief. And God told Abraham in Genesis chapter 17, I have made you the father of many nations. Not you will be, not sometime in the distant future. No, right now, I have made you the father of many nations. And in Romans chapter 4, God was talking about Abraham's faith and how he was the father of those who believe, and speaking about the promises that we have given to us because we believe, regardless of whether we live by the law of Moses. The Bible says this, regardless of whether you live by the law of Moses. So what that tells me is that whether you're a Christian or whether you're a believer or not, this is a success and lifestyle principle beyond any religion, beyond any, biblical reference as far as like Christianity. It's a lifestyle principle the Bible is talking about. Verse 17 of Romans chapter 4 says, this is what God meant when he told Abraham. And remember, Abraham was an old man, right? He was married to an old lady who was barren. She had never had a child. And they were long past the years of having kids. But the Bible says, I have made you the father of many nations. And that might have been laughable, but because Abraham believed in the God, this is what the Bible says, because Abraham believed in the God who gives life to the dead and calls into being things that are not as though they are, God was able to speak the future as though it existed because in God's mind it already happened. Okay? Positive self-talk and personal development is not for losers who can't get a date on Friday night. And I know you guys have all heard me share what I thought about personal development when I first started coaching. But it really isn't. It's for people who are success-minded, driven people. Because when people are success-minded, they understand and they know that we get in our way more often than not, right? It's me that gets in my way. And in order to be truly successful and limitless, to be that person who breaks through the glass ceilings, we have to learn to grow and work on ourselves. And it takes this like superhuman effort to get yourself to this place. You need all the help you can get, right? We all have things that we need to cut out of our lives. We need to perform surgery on ourselves so that we can continue to grow. Plateauing is for those people who refuse to do that. So if you want to avoid the plateau or the ceiling or that impenetrable wall, you have to first understand what holds you back. And second, have a strategy to break through those things. Sorry. I'm almost done. Sorry. Okay, so belief in the business, and this is the last thing I wanted to talk about. First, we believe in ourselves, right? We speak those things into existence that we want to happen in our lives, right? And then second, we need to build our belief in the business. And the one thing I want to say about this is success leave clues. So study those people that have conquered their own obstacles and that are making something of their coaching business. Follow them on social media. Study their story. I gave you a whole list of people that are great people to start with. But find somebody that you identify with. They share something about themselves and you're like, yeah, that's me. Find those people, see how they relate to you, and study what they're doing. Study their background, study where they came from, and see that, it really can be possible for anyone, no matter where they come from, to make this a successful business. Sorry. My notes keep getting taken away from me. So what was I saying? Yeah, study people. Okay, second thing that you need to do to build your belief in the business is understand the business plan and the business model. Now, this might seem boring for those of us who, don't like numbers. But go into your back office. Take some time, you guys. This is your business, right? If you really believe this is the vehicle that's going to get you to your dreams, you're going to do this. These are just things successful people do. It is that one thing you do, right? Go into your back office and learn how Beachbody coaching works. Knowledge is power. So understanding how to make money as a coach is going to give you confidence. It's going to give you direction on how to spend your business time wisely and confidently. And I just wanted to say one last thing before I open up the lines, but I truly believe that God has a plan for each one of us. And when you believe in that, and when you accept and believe and truly buy into the fact that you're worthy of those blessings and you're worthy of that, you know, you're worthy of awesome things to happen in your life. I hope you believe that, because that's when the miracles happen. That's when faith moves mountains. And I truly believe too that faith moves mountain because it first moves you. It has to move you first. We tend to stand in our own way so many times, many more times than circumstances and situations and other people stand in our way. It's us. We are our own worst enemy. So, like, if I can condense this all down, get out of your own way, believe in yourself and who you are as a human being and in your true potential to be a world changer, and you will unlock the promises on your life. I believe that 100%. And at first, you know, like I said, it starts with belief and then putting your skin in the game and really investing in this and making this a non-negotiable for yourself. Okay. So I talked way longer than I intended. I'm so sorry about that. Mute everybody. Okay. I've unmuted you guys. Hi. There's people on here that weren't on here when I started. It's so good to see you. So does anybody have anything that you would like to share as far as putting skin in the game of believing in yourself and, you know, developing that healthy mindset? Anyone? Silence. Okay, so I'm going to ask a direct question. I want to know who believes that they have put their skin in the game. Like, who's sold out? Let me just know that, right? Sold out, like, in this for the long haul, like, excited about the potential, excited about where you can take this, and just really see the vision for yourself. And I think that's so important. I was talking to Brandon today on my way home from work, and it's hit me a little harder this last couple weeks just because I'm quitting my job and all of the things that I'm doing personally. But how important it is to be business minded versus challenger and customer minded. And I know that might sound a little strange, so I want to just talk about that for a sec. What I mean by that is, if you're in this to build a business that's going to create a lot of income for yourself, you know, because we talk about this a lot, that the way to do that is by building your team. Yes, everybody knows that, okay? What happens to a lot of people, not everybody, but what happens to a lot of people is when they get signed up, it's so much easier to focus on products and programs. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't be a focus, because that is what we do, right? Okay, so you guys know that. I'm not saying not to focus on it. Shakeology and our programs are what we do. That is how we build our business. But you're never going to drive a truly successful large income without growing your team. And so what I want to say is, if you can develop the business mindset early on, you're going to do that so much faster. And that's how you'll see people who sign up as a coach and 7 days later they're a diamond. It happens, you guys. 3 months later they're a star diamond coach. It happens because they've signed up with the business mindset and they are focused on the business. Yes, they're helping people lose weight. Yes, they're helping people, you know, with fitness and health, but their main focus is on the business and being business minded. So that's just kind of a little mini challenge I want to throw out there to you guys. to try to like think about what that means to you this week. How, you know, maybe think about where you are now and where your focus is now and how you can change that over to becoming more business minded.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay,
Please.
so I just did an activity last week.
Uh-huh.
I had to actually have it right here. I had to write a letter to myself in 30 days from now about, I had to put how much I was making per month, how many people had signed up, like how many challenge packs I've sold, how many coaches that I have, and how many of them had hit like how many of them were success starters, how many of them were emerald. Like I had to be very specific with what I wanted my business to look like in 30 days. And then whenever I submitted it, she was like, okay, so this is what you have to do. So you need to get on it because in 30 days, this is what your business is going to look like. I was like, whoa, that totally put it in perspective for me because I was like, man, I'm going to have to work my butt off to do this because she has now seen this letter. So, you know, so it's like if you think about where you want to be 30 days from now and then 60 days from now, you know, it helps you if you write it down to get there faster because now I can go back and I can be like, okay, I have 4 coaches now. My goal by the end of this month was 8 or 10 or whatever, so I only have this many to go. So, you know.
Yes. And that's kind of like what I was talking about, speaking those things that are not as though they already have happened. And it's so, gosh, there's such a power in that. And I love that she's having you write that down. So for anybody who doesn't know, Kelsey right now is in a group with Missy, a special push group with Missy. So that's who she's talking about. But I like that she did that because when it's one thing to say it or to think it in your head, to have like this goal in your head. It's something completely different when you write it down. And then, yes, when you then take that written down and send it to someone else, that's kind of like what I was talking about, you know, like putting your vision out there so people hear what your plan is, like where you're going with this. Yeah, that's really cool. It's funny too, because it's easy to throw big goals out there. It's another thing when you hear, you know, what you've got to do to actually reach that goal. Like you need a plan, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Anybody else? Feel free to share. No, you guys are so quiet. So I see a 707 number. I think this is my lovely friend Crystal.
Hey Mary, it's Crystal. I'm on.
Hi! Oh my God!
Hi.
So
I'm sorry I joined late. I got my 21-day what's it called?
You got your package?
Yes, I got that package. Yes, that plan today. And I was doing my first workout when the call started, and I finished, and I'm so excited. So I apologize that I'm late. Thanks for sending the information over.
Yeah, you're fine.
And then going forward, I'll try to jump on the video chat as well.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So everybody, this is Crystal. I want to introduce, you don't see her face right now, but Crystal is my dear, dear bestie. We're besties. She's been a coach now for how long, Crystal? Like a year? A little over?
Oh, it's embarrassing. Yeah, a long time.
No, it's not embarrassing because when she signed up, she just wanted to get the discount, which is totally fine. And then it was just about 2 weeks ago that we talked and she's decided she's going to explore actually coaching. So this is exciting. I'm really excited.
Yay!
So lesson to everyone, all of you beautiful faces, your discount coaches definitely have potential. Don't, always treat everybody as though they're a coach. That's my goal. That's my goal. So Crystal's not on Facebook, but so you guys won't see her in our team page, but you'll see her on the team calls. So yay.
Hey, Mary, can I just say one thing to the team? I know I'm new, but I did want to share one thing about you. So I would say that's one thing about Mary that really encouraged me to actually consider coaching because I work in corporate America, and I did sign up to get the discount for Shakeology, but Mary never pushed me. I never felt like she was shoving it down my throat, or she never put pressure on me, but she always shared. Like, she always talked about it. She always, as she made progress, she would share that. If she fell off the wagon and she had a bad week, she would share that. She was always talking about her business, good or bad. And I think that constant sharing kept it to the forefront of our friendship. I mean, because we are friends, but also it kept it to the forefront of my mind, because in the back of my mind, I was watching her. And I was one of the first people that she told, I'm going to quit my job. And I was like, you're crazy. I mean, really, that's what I thought. I was like, you're crazy. You have lost your mind. And I texted her this morning, and I was like, happy last Monday as a court reporter, because she's done it. And I've watched her work hard. And I guess the big takeaway for me is her consistency. I would say that to you guys. It's true. If you do have coaches under you that you've signed up that have been inactive or haven't been working their business, there's hope.
Yeah. Yes, there is. And it's funny because when I was saying that, yeah, I think Crystal, other than Brandon, Crystal's the first person I said that I was going to quit my job to. And I know she thought I was crazy, because Crystal is very successful. She's in corporate America, like she said, and she's a very successful businesswoman. And so I know she was looking at me thinking, like, you are plumb out of your mind. But yeah. Well, I'm very glad that you got on, Chris. Okay, last words, anyone, and then I'm gonna let you go. Anybody?
I'm excited.
Yay! Me too. You know, I really do see like such upward momentum within our team. And I also want to say to all of you, thank you. And I know I've said this before, but I feel it deep in my soul. Thank you so much for putting up with me this last month. It's been cray is not a strong enough word to describe my life this last month. And so I want to say thank you for, you know, giving me grace. And I'm just really excited to be full-time, because we're going to have a lot of fun. And I have so many ideas I want to do, and now I'm going to have the time to do it, to help all of us grow. And it's just going to be fantastic. So I'm really excited. But again, thanks for all of your support and your love and putting up with my craziness this last month. I love you guys. I hope that you have a fantastic week. And I hope that what we talked about tonight was helpful. I will be posting the recording in our team page. So if you have coaches that were not able to get on the call, tag them so that they can see it. And there's 2 recordings. I'm going to have to figure that out, but we'll do that anyway. So, okay. But I want to say, love you guys, and I hope you have a great week, and we will talk soon. Okay? Take care.